Welcome to the Morning Blitz with John Abraham, Captain Cool, and the Bandiman Bailey Lowery. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Captain Cool.
Hello and welcome in to a jam-packed fun Friday here in No Man's Land. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman Bailey Lowery. Hey. And we sure do have a lot to get into today. I mean, there's the wacky underdog picks, of course. There's the Thursday night football, game that was overshadowed by injuries and controversy. There's the college football happenings all around the nation, and on top of that, a few seasons that have been overshadowed by the powerhouses in said college football. But first, I want to talk about some Mizzou football, and to help us out with that is Quinton Corpuel from KCOU Sports. Quinton, we had you on a little bit ago, but how you doing, man?
I'm feeling really great on this beautiful Friday morning. It's going to be a good day. I'm really excited for tomorrow night, senior night, under the lights at Faroe.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be bittersweet. I'm going to really have missed covering Mizzou because it's been such a fun year, filled with a lot of really great memories that I'm going to be telling future generations about. So,
of course.
Mizzou gets past Florida and Arkansas. Hopefully, New Year's Six Bowls in the cards, because I think that'd be a really fun trip.
Of course, yeah, we'll get into that one, but kind of just looking at that Tennessee matchup, I mean, it hasn't been a really long rivalry, but it is a pretty interesting one. I mean, the series is tied at six apiece now, and it happened in like destructive fashion as it always does. But I mean, what happens when what makes this game more special, being the first time in 4 meetings that Mizzou is able to pull home the win?
Well, for one, the past 2 meetings leading up to last week's game, Tennessee had outscored Mizzou by 80 points and had dropped 60 burgers on them both times. So for Mizzou to return the favor was honestly pretty shocking. And heading into that game, I mentioned to you all last week, I thought Mizzou was going to win a close one. Did not think it was going to be 36-7, but it was the most complete game I've seen Mizzou play ever. I think people that have been following Mizzou football for longer than I have will say that that is the most complete game Mizzou has played in a very long time. Obviously, a perfectly complete game is impossible, but from start to finish, I think the only 2 highlights Tennessee really had were the Jalen McCullough interception early on and the Joe Milton touchdown, where the ball looked like it was in the air, or felt like it was in the air for about 15 seconds.
Yeah, no, it definitely did feel that way. And then whenever it came down, of course, it was a close one in the end zone. But it was the only touchdown from Tennessee and the only points put up by him. So it really shows you that Mizzou's not only churning on offense, but also on defense, kind of sticking with that offensive side of the ball. I mean, we got to talk about Cody Schrader. I mean, just kind of give us some background on why his story is just so inspiring.
So yeah, it is the classic. Rags to riches isn't the best way to put it, but he started at lower division Truman State. He went on the Pat McAfee show yesterday and explained how he had one Division I offer that was pulled. And so he started at Truman State, played there for a few years. In 2021, put up incredible statistics, transferred up to Mizzou before the 2022 season, was not the running back one to start. Nathaniel Pete had that title, and then supplanted Nathaniel Pete halfway through the season. Heading into this season, I'm not sure if people were expecting Cody Schrader to be incredibly good, but
I wouldn't think so. I mean, with his size, I mean, you just look at him. He doesn't look like he'd be like one of the star running backs that now he's leading the SEC in the yardage on the ground.
Yeah, 321 yards from scrimmage last week. He rushed for my birthday, which is also on March 21st, so that was very cool of him to do that. But it's been so incredible to watch his journey from last year to this year. He has entailed it to us many times in press conferences. And my favorite part is that he has not only excelled, he has also inspired.
Yeah, he definitely has done that.
It's a classic story of hard work. It's it's proving all of these cliches we hear as athletes growing up to be 100% correct. When you're in a lower division football, you're not given very much. But Cody Schrader's been given very little throughout his football career, yet he has earned so much, and he has deserved all of it. And He is a wonderful human being. He is a wonderful source of inspiration. And that kind of player, the way he runs and the way he works, the way he competes, I'd be surprised if a few NFL teams weren't calling at some time in the future.
Oh, yeah, definitely this season has definitely put him on the national spotlight. But it can't only be him. I know there's some big boys on that offensive line that are helping him through it, and kind of just talk about what we might see going up against the Florida team that has been pretty shaky against the run game as well.
Yeah, that's one of the bigger developments this season for Mizzou comparatively to last year. They have a very strong rushing attack to lean on, and a big part of that has been because of the offensive line. I would imagine Jav Foster, the left tackle, and Armand Membu, one of the guards, they are going to be playing on Sundays. Armand Membu, I think you're going to see end up on Bruce Feldman's freaks list at some point. Some of the tape is just silly, like really, really silly.
Yeah.
The way he can just toss guys around. With the rushing attack out there against the Florida front seven, I think Mizzou has a very solid chance of establishing the run early, which makes the passing game a lot easier and which makes third down a lot more intimidating. A lot of the reason that they've been a lot better on third down this year is because they found a lot of success on early downs running the ball. That's why a couple of weeks ago against Georgia, it was really confusing to me why on a couple of the drives they passed on first and second down, and the failures on those first and second down passing plays made third down a lot harder, especially against the Georgia defense where you do not want to get into third and long against them.
Yeah.
So I think establishing the run early is going to be very key for Mizzou. Obviously, last week against what I still think is a very good Tennessee run defense, Mizzou carved them up. Cody Schrader had 9 carries of 10-plus yards and 2 carries of 30-plus yards. He was finding daylight all over the place. And not sure if it's going to be 200-plus rushing yards against Florida this week, but if somebody from the future time traveled back to right now and said that Mizzou ran for 200-plus yards against Florida, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting to say, too. I mean, you talk about how Mizzou was playing this Georgia team only a few weeks ago, and Cody Schrader, despite not getting all of the touches, he was still able to get over 100 yards rushing on the day as well as 1 touchdown. But kind of, looking at this Florida game, I mean, it is tied 6-6 right now. I mean, just kind of talk about how big it is for Mizzou to win this game, for just the community as a whole, especially coming off of yet another close series in the Tennessee Vols.
Yeah, so it's senior night. There will be a lot of seniors being honored on Saturday night, especially a few of the cornerstone players of this season's team. So that's going to be a big deal. Under the lights, obviously, is a big deal. And secondly, it makes the path to 10 wins a lot clearer. There are plenty of teams throughout college football history who have gotten late in the season, have been 10-0, 9-1, 8-2, and have had their sights set on a very good bowl or even the national title game with, at least on paper, an easy path to that, and have tripped up and lost to a team that they shouldn't have. That's happened so many times throughout college football history. And Mizzou is in that spot right now. Florida and Arkansas, I would say, are both worse than Tennessee. The path to 10 wins in the New Year's Six Bowl, on paper, is really clear. So not tripping up, that's going to be huge, especially because I think we polled 100 Mizzou fans before the season, asked, hey, would you be cool if the Tigers went to a New Year's Six Bowl? I'd be shocked if there weren't 100 yeses. So this Saturday's game and next week, obviously, against Arkansas is going to be extremely important into getting to that New Year's Six Bowl because, again, that's a goal. That's a destination I think Mizzou fans would have bought a ticket for before the year, 100%.
Of course.
Yeah, Quentin Corpuel with us from KCOU Sports. And that kind of leads into my question, like potentially finish like beating Florida and Arkansas, going 10-2, second in the East. I mean, what's kind of the feeling around with the student body there? Like, could expectations be rising? Like, maybe like is it going to be time for us to finally break that barrier and get back into the SEC championship again?
Well, I don't know about the future. I really couldn't tell you that. I think gauging the student body right now from being here, I think people are just enjoying the moment. I think people are living in the present because Mizzou has not been in this spot since the current sophomore class, for example, the one I'm in, or in elementary school. It's been a long time. So I think people are just trying to enjoy the now and not focusing too much on the future because not a lot of teams have the privilege of saying they're heading to a New Year's Six Bowl.
Yeah.
And Mizzou has that opportunity this season. So I think people are just enjoying the now. living in the moment. And I'm not sure what the crowd is going to be tomorrow because I know a lot of people have left for Thanksgiving break already, but I would imagine it's going to be pretty crowded for the last home game of what has been a phenomenal and memorable season.
Oh, yeah, and I could definitely see a lot of fans sticking around at least one extra day, before they go on back home for Thanksgiving and enjoying some thankful football with the Mizzou Tigers because it sure has been a great season. And I could definitely sit with you and say I feel you on that whole, live in the moment thing. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, and honestly, every single game we win, I'm just like, I don't know if I'll ever get another one of these, all right? So we're just going to live in the moment right now, but it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, what bowl game are you guys kind of looking for, striving for? Could it be, an Orange Bowl? Could it be, the Cotton Bowl? Like, what are you guys thinking about?
Well, I think the three most popular ones, I guess the most common ones you're seeing with the bowl projections are the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, and the Cotton Bowl in Texas, I think, are the two most common. And then I'm still seeing a lot of Citrus Bowl, specifically against Iowa. So I think that would be an interesting regional matchup. Obviously, Iowa and Missouri, they're very close in geography, and a lot of people that go here have ties to the University of Iowa, so I think that would be interesting. But me personally, I would love to go to Atlanta. I would love to go to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That is first of all, I love Atlanta. Yep. I think the city's really cool. And second of all, I went to Mercedes-Benz Stadium last year for the first time for the Falcons-Panthers game where DJ Moore ripping his helmet off inadvertently cost the Panthers the NFC South Division title. But it's an awesome stadium. It's an awesome city. I would totally love to go there. But, hey, I wouldn't be mad if they ended up in Miami, too, at the Orange Bowl, because I've never been to Hard Rock in person. I was raised a Miami Hurricanes fan because my parents met there. So going to the place where Miami plays, I think will be really, really cool. But regardless, a New Year's Six Bowl would be awesome wherever, really, because that means Mizzou won 10-plus games and had a really successful season.
Exactly. Quentin Corpuel from KCOU has been our guest. Quentin, kind of tell the people where they can find you online and on socials.
Yeah, so I've still got some bylines on themaneater.com. On Twitter, I am at Quentin Corpuel, just my full name, all lowercase. I am also doing stuff. I'm also wearing a lot of hats for KCOU.FM. KCOU 88.1 is the student radio station here at the University of Missouri. I co-host a radio show that I'm actually running today at 2 o'clock Central,
nice.
Hybrid College Football and NFL show. I do play-by-play broadcasting. I also write columns for the website, KCOU.FM. And finally, I also contribute to Rock M Nation, which is the SB Nation affiliate of the University of Missouri. So I've been wearing a lot of different hats. Semester. I do need Thanksgiving break next week, and that'll be a nice week off. I've been getting pretty tired, but it's a good kind of tired. I don't really know what else I'd rather be doing than covering sports.
Good
so, Bailey,
stuff.
I about to say, dang, man, like you're taking classes on top of all that too. Like what free time?
Yeah, it's been a lot, but I'm having a good time. I get to go do cool things like this, so I appreciate you having me on, Bailey.
I appreciate you hopping on with us as well, but we got to hop into a break. When we come back, we're going to be getting into more college conversation with one Mr. Drew DeArmond from Talking Ball, so don't go anywhere because you're listening to the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Rambo Marine in Hazel Green is your one-stop shop for all things boating. Whether you are ready to surf with the newest Malibu wake boat or cruise on a Cobalt or Barletta pontoon, we have a boat ready for you and your family. Rambo Marine provides exceptional service second to none, so that you are ready to hit the water in no time. Stop by Rambo Marine today. We know boats. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Logan Hoffman of the Hoffman Group is a proud supporter of Buckhorn Athletics. The Hoffman Group is now powered by Stockton Mortgage and is a full-service mortgage lender and servicer. That means you're getting local and reliable service from Logan Hoffman and the Hoffman Group. Tune in every Thursday through the Tom Abraham Show to hear Bucks head football coach Matt Patterson, presented by the Hoffman Group. Score a touchdown with Logan Hoffman and the Hoffman Group, powered by Stockton Mortgage.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Philip Love of not only Eagle Insulation, now he represents Eagle Companies. Eagle through the years have added several companies to help individuals or builders through their construction renovation process. Eagle is known to represent quality, efficiency, and professionalism. Philip, I know you do insulation, but do you do masonry?
We do.
Do you do grading, erosion control, and dirt hauled off?
We do.
Do you do after paint, which includes shower doors, mirrors, shelving blinds, and bath hardware?
Yes, we do, Wes.
Do you do landscaping and irrigation?
Yes, we do.
So basically, Eagle can help you all along your process of building your house or doing renovations. So do you do plumbing?
We do not, Wes, but we can find somebody to do it.
Just give them time. They'll be there. Anyway, call Eagle Insulation at
256-755-1556.
Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Call Eagle today.
Thanks, Wes.
Don't let your back or neck pain get in the way. Get back to doing the things you love with the spine and neuro team from Huntsville Hospital. As the most experienced in the area, we have been improving lives in North Alabama for more than 50 years. Whether your favorite fishing hole is on Wilson Lake in the Shoals, Flint Creek, or Lake Gunnersville, Spine and Neuro is nearby to get you back to your best. Visit us online at spineandneuro.com to learn more.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up. You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
Injuries at work happen all the time in Alabama. So do motor vehicle and slip and fall accidents. If you're hurt at work or injured in an accident, I want you to call my good friends at Pond Lehocky Giordano. That's Pond Lehocky, Alabama's injury law firm. They got your back just like they've got mine. For personalized legal support, reach out to Pond Lehocky at 855-774-3838 or pondlehocky.com.
The representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hello and welcome back in. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman, Bailey Lowery. Hey, just got done with a good conversation with Quentin Corpuel from KCOU Sports. Got all the information we need to know about Mizzou going into their matchup against the Florida Gators. Honestly, I do think that Cody Schrader is going to run for like 1,000,000 yards, so I'm just going to let that one be. I'm going to sit on that hot take, and on top of that, you guys can watch the show over on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube, because you'll be able to see our next guest, which is one Mr. Drew DeArmond from Talking Ball, presented by Mercury Motors, as well as the great people over at Alumni Hall. Drew, how you doing today, man?
Good, guys. Joined you via Zoom today. Got back late last night with got some flight delays coming back from the O-Town, as they call it, Orlando. We were just outside Orlando going to Montverde Academy and had a great experience over there. Best program in the country in high school basketball from a prep school standpoint. And Huntsville High lost 78-51, but gained a lot of respect, and even got invited to their tournament next year from January. Wow. That they put on every year. So it was a great experience for Crimson Panther basketball. And Caleb Harrison, put some of those All-Americans in the blender and had 27 points. And he's a Samford signee, and I think Bucky McMillan stole one. But Certainly, it was a great experience watching our guys, and Simon Walker had 15, 13 in the second half, and Braden Rivers hit a couple of threes. Eli Stapler had a bucket, but competing at that level, I'm just telling y'all, when you see that kind of talent on the floor, and you're going to see guys like Cooper Flagg in 2 years in the NBA. Asa Newell is another guy with NBA athleticism. Derek Queen, 6'10", such a great passer, such a feel for the game. You're going to see several guys on that roster in the NBA, and to watch Huntsville High compete against them. And I'll tell you guys, late in the first quarter, it was 14-10, and some shots didn't go down. And then with those guys, if you turn it over, there's such a small margin for error because of their length and athleticism and just talent. It's very difficult, but very proud of the Huntsville Crimson Panthers for how they battled, and I think they earned a lot of respect. And when you face Kevin Boyle, who's one of the great high school coaches in the history of our game, probably right up there with Bob Hurley Sr. and of St. Anthony, and then Morgan Wooten of DeMatha. I mean, to put it into context, guys, their gym is only 8 years old, and I was at shoot around after I was with you guys. Of course, I was on the show on Wednesday when we were down there, and just to tell you, we played the game that night. But I put some photos up on my Twitter account at DrewD977ESPN. But they've won 7 of the last 10 national championships in high school basketball.
Wow!
To show you how good those guys are, and so it's just the cream of the crop, and it was a great experience, and I'm honored to have been a part of it. And Coach Swears has got that program, really growing at Huntsville. And certainly we previewed the Into Hoops Invitational that will be starting on Monday over at Bob Jones. Huntsville will be a part of that. They'll be playing at 6 o'clock against Westminster Christian Academy, and new coach Kenneth Epps, who has Kendrick Epps, who's going to do a great job for them. Coach Epps, of course, played for Ronnie Stapler. But again, we are really looking forward to being a part of that event. And it should be some great high school basketball for everybody, taking us into the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah, of course, it should be a lot of fun with all that high school basketball going down. But another thing I want to look at in the basketball world is a little bit of Alabama basketball, because they're going up against Mercer. And, everybody's kind of cheering, but not really. But this is going to be yet another pretty awesome matchup. 3-0 Alabama trying to, just carve out the problems they need to before going into their tougher competition. Kind of just talk about this Crimson Tide team and what you got to see them work on before they get into those Ohio State matchups.
Well, I think they just got to continue to improve on the defensive end and continue what they did against a solid South Alabama team under Richie Riley. They won 102-46. They shot 12 of 23 from three. Off the bench, Sam Walters had 16. I think he hit all 3 of his three-point attempts. Their bench outscored South Alabama 52-46, which is great. You got guys like Latrell Wrightsell, Davin Cosby making threes, and then Muhammad Wagee. 10.7 rebounds. He's pushing Nick Pringle to start. He's a very good defender. So if this Alabama team can continue to grow on the defensive end, they got some tests coming up. You already kind of hinted at that. John, is they'll have Ohio State in Destin, Florida, coming up after Thanksgiving, I believe on Black Friday, and then the Clemson Tigers on the 28th as part of the SEC ACC challenge. So they need to continue to get better and work out the kinks and win tonight impressively against Mercer to try to go to 4-0, because they've got some huge tests coming up. And then the December schedule is brutal. They go to Toronto to play some dude named Zach Edey in Purdue, who is a top 4 team in the country. Some may think the best team. They've got all 5 starters back, including reigning National Player of the Year Zach Edey. And then they play Arizona and Phoenix. Arizona's a very good team. They've only won at Cameron Indoor Stadium so far and beaten Duke. And then they play Creighton, and Creighton is a powerhouse that's really grown from a mid-major power into I know the Big East is not, quote-unquote, a Power 5 conference, but it really is in basketball.
Oh, yeah.
And certainly Greg McDermott has done a great job there at Creighton. So Alabama's going to get severely tested. but it looks like they have a lot of depth and talent. So anxious to see how they respond. And you can hear that game tonight. Chris Stewart, Brian Pasek on the call from Coleman Coliseum as the Mercer Bears 1-2 take on Alabama. And the thing is, can Alabama score 100 points for the fourth straight time, guys? Because they've scored 100 points in the first 3 games for the first time since 1956-57.
I got a good feeling about that tonight, but every time I've had a good feeling, it just never seems to turn out right. But I mean, you brought up the death of this Alabama team. What improvements have they made? What improvements have you seen on the depth side of this Alabama squad compared to last year?
Well, I think there's better shooting. I think it's a little bit deeper when you talk about the backcourt. Mark Sears and Aaron Estrada. Estrada's been a huge addition from the transfer portal from Hofstra. He's been able to score the ball. He's been a great compliment to Mark Sears. So far, they haven't missed, Javon Quinterly, who transferred to Memphis, who was so good for them for 3 years and helped them win. Latrell Wrightsell and Davin Cosby have made shots, which is huge. It means you have some depth in the backcourt. No doubt about it. And then and they've been playing so well. A guy that they signed out of Florida, Chris Parker, that I thought would have a chance to be a part of the rotation. He's also had a corneal abrasion as far as an eye injury. Nate Oates even said in the last few days they're thinking about redshirting him. So that would be really huge because that means they like their depth, they like their team. And so and then Sam Walters is a sniper. He's like a stretch 3. He can really shoot the ball. Grant Nelson, guys, he just showed you how good a player he is. He didn't make a lot of shots. He was only 1 for 5 from the field. Only scored 6 points on Tuesday when they routed South Alabama. But he still had 6 assists from his power forward spot. He had 6 rebounds, I believe. He also stuffed the stat sheet with some blocks, some steals, and he can play an all-around game of basketball. He proved he doesn't have to score to impact the game, and I think that's huge. And then, of course, Mark Sears had 17. He's the glue of that group. He brings the toughness and the tenacity. He started out making shots and got off to a really quick start. It's just a fun Alabama team to watch so far. Jaron Stevenson is a very talented young forward as well that can score the basketball. And even Mo Diabate. He was injured early and missed a lot of camp, but he's starting to get more comfortable and put in a lot of work. He's another guy that can help him on the defensive end of the floor. I just think this team has a lot of pieces. They need to continue to gel, but they seem to be gelling quickly. And I'll just tell you, if Muhammad Wagee keeps improving like this and pushing Nick Pringle, that's just going to make this team better.
Good stuff, Drew. Appreciate having you on after your long week, and we can't wait to get you back on Monday. Enjoy the weekend, brother.
Enjoy it, guys. Enjoy the high school football tonight. I'm going to be out at Madison Academy and certainly in Mars Hill. It's going to be a great environment over at Bill Washington Stadium. And then we will be on the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by the Huntsville Sports Commission.
There we go.
I had to do that for Bandy one time to get it right because I screwed it up the other day.
Good stuff, Drew.
Hey, we'd always get it right before. Hey, that was the big thing. We'd always get it right before we went live.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't think that actually matters. It's what happens on the air that matters. But either way, we got to hop into a break, Bandy. We got to get into some of these wacky underdog picks. Drew DeArmond has been on with us. Presented by Alumni Hall and McCurry Motors. When we come back, some wacky underdog picks as well as some NFL football talk because I got some things to say about the Ravens and the Bengals. That's what's coming up here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold-certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Mark and Henry McDaniel, attorneys at law, are proud alumni of Madison Academy, and Madison Academy is proud of them. They have served our community through their practice, through volunteerism and service on national, state, and local boards. They explain the complexity of critical court rulings on local media. Their successful practice has been built on integrity. Both are veterans of MA Athletics and proud sponsors of Mustang football. McDaniel & McDaniel, attorneys at law. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by the lawyer.
At Bryant Bank, we recognize your time is valuable, and easy, secure access to your finances is essential. That's why we provide the financial tools you need to manage your money on the go and make life a bit easier. At Bryant Bank, we're here to help with instant debit cards, Apple Pay, person-to-person payments, and more. Bryant bankers want to show you how beneficial our digital banking services can be. Learn more at bryantbank.com. Bryant Bank. Live legendary. Member FDIC.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room. And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-251-2305. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-251-2305 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-251-2305 to see if you qualify. That's 800-251-2305.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing. We have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates. Residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Hello and welcome in, everybody. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman, Bailey Lowery.
What's up, Gabby?
That's what I was waiting for the whole time.
You're waiting for the drop.
Exactly. We've had a lot of fun on today's episode, but it's only going to get better because you guys can now call in. We have wide open phone lines for the Wacky Underdog Picks. 256-576-4977 is the number to call in and get on the programming. Obviously, it's going to be full of wacky underdog picks. We're still looking for some picks from our regulars, but on top of that, if you guys haven't jumped in yet, you have a chance to win a party of two over at Gunner's Landing with a cart included. And all you have to do is call in or at us on the Twitter sphere your underdog pick. Right now, Jason's sitting at first with 7.5 points, and John's sitting at second with 3 points because of Clemson over Notre Dame. I still think about that one. I still think about it because I'm a low-key Notre Dame fan, okay? Obviously, Alabama overshadows it, similar to all of the big teams overshadowing Liberty and James Madison. Very sad to see. These are two teams that, they're not going to make it anywhere. But they are 10-0 right now. They're currently undefeated.
They possibly could.
Not right now.
If we don't have enough bowl eligible teams.
Well, if it turns,
we need 84.
When it goes to 2024, whenever we have the 12-team playoff, and I've looked into a lot of this stuff. I was gonna ask Drew about some of these questions, but you kind of look at what teams you want to win, what teams are probably not gonna make it in. Okay. James Madison and also Liberty, okay, they're both 10-0 on the season. But you look at the schedules that they have, and you think, well, there's a reason these guys aren't going to make it in because they're not playing top 25 talent. They're playing, the teams that people pay millions of dollars to play in, everyday games. Like Alabama's going to go up against MTSU. Nobody's going to bat an eye at those teams, okay? Those are the type of teams that Liberty and also James Madison are winning up against. Bandy, do we got somebody on the Flow hotline, man?
Yeah, we got Jason on the Flow hotline. What's going on, Jason?
Oh, not much. How you doing today?
No, we're doing great.
Doing all right.
See the hockey rink is open? Ooh. Sorry.
Oh, y'all jumped all over one of my picks. I'm getting ready to take somebody out of the undefeated this weekend.
Okay. Who you got, man? I think I know where this is going.
I am going with Appalachian State and giving James Madison something to cry about.
Okay, that's going to be at James Madison as well. And, I mean, we were just talking about this team. I mean, Appalachian State, when it comes down to, those teams that get paid millions of dollars to come in and beat you, this is like the epitome of that team. Obviously, they beat Texas A&M last year. But a few years back, I think it was like 2016, might have been a little bit earlier, they faced off against the top-ranked Tennessee team, and they were able to get the upper hand on them. They didn't end up winning, but it was close. But I do like that pick. That's 8.5 points. And honestly, Jason, I'm riding with you, man. Appalachian State does have a chance against James Madison. Good pick right there, man.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Good stuff. You as well, brother. Happy Thanksgiving. I don't know when, I don't know what the schedule is around Thanksgiving, by the way, Bandy. I didn't talk to Tom about that. I think we're going to get it briefed to us on Tuesday. But
yeah, probably.
Yeah, either way, I do like that pick, though. If anybody's going to beat Appalachian or James Madison, it's going to be Appalachian State. I do agree on that. But the reason why we don't see this, and I want to go back, and this will just test some of your guys' knowledge. You go back to, I believe it was 2013, and you think about a team called Northern Illinois. Bandy, do you remember when this team was top ranked in the country? No?
Not particularly.
Not particularly.
But go on, Captain Cool.
It was one of those teams, and they were in the MAC, that was able to make it to a pretty good bowl game. And honestly, it was pretty unnecessary. I mean, we look at James Madison and Liberty and see what they've got going on. Well, this team that I'm talking about, Northern Illinois, was not an undefeated team. They did lose the first game of the season to said Iowa, but they went on to win the rest of their games. They go up against Kent State in the MAC championship. And guess what, Bandy? This is an 18th ranked Kent State team we're talking about. So, yes, we have come very far in this college football world. Then they go up against Florida State, who's 13th ranked. And this is in the Orange Bowl. And if you guys saw this game, you were thinking, who the hell is Northern Illinois and what are they doing in this game? And then they lose 31-10. This is the reason why we don't put these smaller teams, even though they have good records, into these types of games. Because they just don't face off against the same competition as the Power 5 teams do, okay? You're not going to see a MAC in any of these New Year's 6 games. You're not going to see a Sun Belt or a Conference USA. It's just not going to happen. And this is the reason why, and it goes back even farther to that, to maybe even the American Athletic Conference as well.
Yeah, but hey, I was going back to Appalachian State's last upset. I mean, let's just go back to, it was last year.
It was last year.
Against A&M.
Against Hugh Freeze, and that was pretty much the first thing that really ticked them off to think, guys, we're giving this guy $95+ million for 10 years. This is not a good start.
I know, it was against Texas A&M. It's like, hey, let's go into College Station and just, let's cause a little ruckus.
Yeah,
let's get paid $1 million to come into College Station and cause an upset. But we got Shane on the Flow hotline. What's going on, Shane?
Hey, good morning, fellas. How you doing this morning?
Doing great.
Hey, I don't know if it's been mentioned yet. I'm with my daughter. It's Daddy-Daughter Day out. But,
Nice.
hey, I just wanted to give a shout-out to Ronald Acuna Jr. for winning the MVP for the NL and for the Braves, man. It was awesome. I'm glad they made the right decision, unanimous, obviously. And because, it should have never been a debate. I know Mookie Betts had a great season, but, come on, man. Who has done what Ronnie did this season ever?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, definitely took advantage. Sorry, Bandy. Definitely took advantage of that the new rules that were thrown in, and honestly, he ran with it, literally.
Yeah, but hey, can I say one thing about that?
Yeah.
They actually spoke about that on the MLB Network, and they were saying that regardless of the change of the rules, he still would have nearly or probably would have had the same amount that he had as far as steals goes because. The dude, he knows when to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's not the fastest guy in Major League Baseball, but he's the twitchiest, and he's very, very smart. He's a cerebral baseball player. And I love the guy, and I'm glad we got him. But if I can make one more comment, and I don't know where Anthopoulos is going with this, but the trade he made, getting rid of Nicky Lopez and the other pitchers, Soroka I don't care about, but to get a guy, a reliever, who had like a 6.29 ERA from the White Sox, we gave up like 3 farm, Soroka, a couple of farm guys, and then Nicky Lopez. I would have paid Nicky Lopez over what he was asking in arbitration just to keep him. He's a great defensive player.
Yeah.
And by the metrics, he's been the greatest defensive player since he's been in Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
So with that trade, I have zero clue where he's going with that, and I pray and hope to God that we make a better decision on, our next move.
Definitely a sleeper trade right there. Shade, before you get out of here, you got any underdog picks for us, brother?
Can you give them to me? Yeah, I'll give them to you.
All right.
You can just throw them at me.
Right now we can just run down through some top 25 lines.
I got the ones that he's going to want to look at. We got
okay.
Washington versus Oregon State. Okay, that's a 2-point. Washington is the underdog in that one. Florida versus Mizzou. Florida is 11.5-point underdog. Kansas State versus Kansas. These are 2 top 25 teams. Kansas currently is an 8-point underdog, and this game is going to be at Kansas. Thankfully, it's in the state of Kansas anyway. And then going down the list, North Carolina, top 25 team. They are +2 or 6.5 against Clemson. And then you could even go Georgia versus Tennessee. Tennessee's a 10-point underdog right there.
Okay, first of all, I'm not taking Oregon State over Washington, so give me Washington.
Okay, all right. Washington, a 2-point dog right there. Good job.
Yeah. And what was the second one you named?
I named Florida versus Mizzou, and Florida is 11.5-point underdog in that game.
Give me Mizzou. Mizzou's gonna blow them out.
Okay. Well, we'll give you the Washington one. Those are just like you
get
get one of them.
It's got to be one or the other.
You get one of them, Shane. Sorry, I didn't explain.
All right, then Washington.
Okay.
Washington is gonna beat the brakes off of Oregon State.
We appreciate it. Good stuff, Shane.
All right, have a good day, guys.
You as well. I like that pick. I'm also going for Washington in that one, Bandy. I'm also going for Washington in that one. Before we get out of here, which I know we gotta, but Bandy, the Ravens and the Bengals went up against each other last night, and Joe Burrow, everybody's all concerned. They're like, why did they play him? The NFL's gonna investigate. Guys, back in the day, all right, prior to my birth, there were players that were going onto the field, breaking their hands, and then just wrapping them up and getting back out there. I get that this is a quarterback, but this is also a man's sport where you straight up could literally break a finger or like pop an arm out of place and pop it back in, go right back on the field, guys, all right? Joe Burrow wanted to play that game. The Bengals wanted him to play that game. It was the best chance they would have had to beat a division rival in the Ravens, okay?
But
the NFL doesn't need to look into this at all. know what they need to look into is that drop tackle. I hate that too. I hate that it's become a problem. Mark Andrews is out for the season. That's my franchise tight end, Bandy. And I'm set. I got Dalton Schultz, though, so I think I'll be good.
Now, one thing I want to ask you when we get back from the break.
Yeah.
We got a little QB situation going on with the Browns. I mean, they're 1.5-point favorite going on with the Steelers. But your favorite person is getting looked at by your favorite team.
My favorite person? We got
Flacco.
We got some things to talk about. When we come back here on the Morning Blitz, feel free to call in, guys. 256-5764.
97.7.
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowery of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Did you know that average home equity is at an all-time high? But so is average consumer debt. Even though rates are higher now, you can use your equity to pay off your high consumer debt, student loans, etc., then refi when the rates drop. Don't put off that new home purchase. When rates drop, prices will go up. Buy now and get the best price and then refi when the rates drop. This is the time to talk to the experts at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit northalabamamortgage.com for more information.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 60s and lower 70s. A couple of isolated to widely scattered showers are going to be possible through Friday afternoon, even as we head into Friday evening. We're only going to drop into the low and mid 50s as we head into the overnight, early into your Saturday morning. Plenty of sunshine on Saturday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid 60s, dropping into the mid 30s by the time we get to Sunday morning. You're definitely going to need some sort of a jacket as you head out the door for Sunday services. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, this is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Join us every week for Alabama football right here.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
So, Bandy, the NFL got a little bit interesting with two of some of the best teams going up against each other. And I say the Bengals only because they were on a 4-game win streak before they lost to C.J. Stroud and the Texans. And then obviously they go up against a good team within the Ravens, at the Ravens, which is always a tough one to win. Okay, unless you're the Cleveland Browns, which we'll talk about that also. That situation has just gotten out of hand. But, I mean, you look at kind of what the Bengals had going for him. Joe Burrow comes out. Everybody thinks he's fine. He says he's healthy. He says, if Jon Snow can come back from something, I can come back from a broken little wrist, something not that big. Joe Burrow comes in. He looks like he's in so much pain that they then take him out. Jake Browning comes in. Doesn't do too bad, but obviously he's no Joe Burrow, and this team is going to fall flat as they did, losing 34-20. But the Ravens also lose a big piece of their puzzle, and that's in Mark Andrews, who got me 4.5 points yesterday. Yippee, I totally forgot that he was playing, and I forgot to look at my fantasy. But then he ended
He's
up...
your franchise tight end, though.
I know. But still, it's I'm not looking at fantasy all the time. He gets tackled near the end zone, and it's one of those drop tackles, Bandy. And again, you guys can still call in for your wacky underdog picks. Me and the Bandyman are just talking a little bit. And Bandy, I want to know, man, do you think that the drop tackle should be taken out of the NFL, and how even would that be possible? I mean, it's just a routine tackle to a lot of these guys.
I mean, what would be the replacement?
Just diving at them and trying to
just chest first,
trying to take them down. I mean, if you're chasing
shoulder pad first, every time.
If you're chasing after,
I'm sorry.
If you're chasing after a guy, okay, and you're close enough to where you could be able to wrap around his waist, and you want to fall back because you don't want him to fall in the end zone. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
I mean, you got to remember, Captain Cool, I didn't play football.
I understand that, but
I didn't go with the sport. So no, you tell me actually.
Okay.
Isn't it routine? Aren't you taught to go to tackle low?
Like
most of the time.
Yeah, from behind you're supposed to. Well, every single time you're supposed to get lower than the other man. That happens on the line. That happens in tackling. I mean, all the time. It's just the low man always wins. Okay.
Right.
In this case, though, you're chasing after a dude. He literally could dive forward and score a touchdown. You need to wrap up his legs and take him down. Mm-hmm. Now, the initial thing that goes through your head is, okay, I'll do the most I can, which is twist my body, trying to get his feet tangled up in my body. The thing is, what the problem's going on is you're falling on these guys' ankles, which causes, either a torn Achilles. It could lead to just a broken ankle altogether. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen. But, again, you can't really take it out of the sport because this is just a normal way. It's like, are we allowed to hit, head first? No. Are we allowed to go after the legs? You can't drop tackle. That's routine play right there. I hate to see these injuries happen, but I mean, it's going to be impossible to take it completely out of the game. Unlike, taking out targeting, which Bandy, did you see, was it two teams going up against each other? I think it was Boston College and who was it? Who are they going up against?
I forgot. Yeah, I forget the other team too. But that is the targeting call that LSU fans saw is what happened to Jaden Daniels.
No, that's definitely
that was not what Dallas Turner. That's what they thought Dallas Turner did.
Yeah, it's definitely not what he did. I think I reposted it.
That was by the textbook, leaping off of the ground head first. Like a comic book style headbutt.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. It was Pitt versus Boston College. And like if you couldn't make it any more obvious that you're going to target for this guy's head, okay? Wide receiver's going up for the ball for Pitt. And this other dude for Boston College, I think he's number 3 on the defense. He literally just goes in like a missile. He puts his body together. You got to be watching on WZZN TV if you want to watch exactly what happened. Puts his arms together and lunges forward with his helmet just going straight for the guy's head. And I'm like, if you wanted to get kicked from the game, this is exactly how you do it.
It was kind of cartoonishly obvious.
It was cartoonishly obvious. And I'm thinking, what are these guys doing, man? But that's something that you can take out of the game instead of the drop tackle, which I just don't see going away. Either way, we got some good wacky underdog picks thrown at us. If you guys did not get in, go to 97.7 ESPN The Zone on Twitter and add us your guys' underdog pick. Just hashtag underdog pick and give us your guys' underdog. Make sure it's an underdog, though.
Yeah, make sure it's an underdog. Just saw this headline come across. Russell Westbrook has requested to come off the bench per Chris Haynes.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me laugh. The Clippers are so bad.
It's our first NBA talk of the day, yet Steve's still going to say that we talk NBA more than any of the other shows. I don't know about that.
They're so bad.
I don't know about that. Either way, for me and the Bandyman,
Harden sucks.
It's been a wonderful week of a lot of things. We'll catch you guys on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you guys next time here on The Morning Blitz.
What's better than 2 end-zone sports bars? 3 end-zone sports bars. And we have you covered with our original location on University across from Red Lobster, in Jones Valley on Cecil Ashburn near Carl T. Jones, and our newest